Brotatoes, what is up? It's Dark here with another challenge mode setup guide, and today I'm going to talk you through my Brewmaster Monk. Now I've already done the Blood Death Knight and the Prot Warrior, so today I'm going to go over my Brewmaster. I'm going to show you what gear I used, what stats I stacked, what talents I went with, and what glyphs I ran. Now stat wise, I ran bonus armor, crit, mastery, haste. They were the stats that I ran with. You can do a Brewmaster a lot of different ways with stats, but this was the way that was comfortable for me. So gear wise, I ran the engineering helmet with crit mastery, neck from a heroic mastery bonus armor with crit enchant, shoulders from a heroic again, haste mastery. You don't need raid gear for challenge mode, guys. Most of mine is heroic. A cloak, crit, bonus armor, 100 mastery. Don't need the run speed, it doesn't work in challenge modes. Chest, crit mastery, heroic. Braces, crit haste from LFR, I think. Gloves, crit mastery, again heroic. Heroic belt with haste mastery. You can see I got the frag belt enchant there for engineering. It's amazing. Legs, haste mastery. Fever flare, I think that one is. Legs, feet, crit haste. My rings, both from heroic. Mastery, bonus armor, crit enchant. And then the other one is crit bonus armor with crit enchant again. My trinket, amazing from Skyreach. Second boss, 159 haste, 159 bonus armor, absolutely amazing. And the Knight's badge, which is fucking awesome for Brewmasters, guys. Bonus armor with crit proc. My two-hander is from the first boss in Blood Maul Slag Mines. Crit mastery, and I've gone with the Blackrock enchant. You look up Brewmasters and you'll see some have Thunderlord, Frostwolf, Warsong. It just depends on your playstyle. Now for me, Mark of Blackrock, I was learning to play a Brewmaster. The 500 bonus armor is just amazing from that enchant, and I tend to play probably a little bit more defensive style than offensive. So Blackrock for me was the #1 choice. And a two-hander, guys, due to the change to Way of the Monk, you're going to get more EB procs from a two-hander than you are dual-wielding now. So just keep that in mind when you are looking up monks that have completed challenge modes that may not be playing anymore. A lot when they were doing them at the start were dual-wielding before that change. So looking at my stats now, I'm just going to put White Tiger buff on. Critical strike, 29.49%. My mastery is 10.19%, and my bonus armor is 636. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zone into a challenge mode, and I'm going to show you how all my gear squishes down and what my stats look like. Now just keep in mind, gear does not scale up in challenge modes, it scales down to 630. It doesn't mean if you have a 620 piece on that it will end up being 630, so just keep that in mind. So having a look now, you can see all my item levels, they've all come down to 630. Majority of them were 630 anyway on my Brewmaster, but all your items will go down to 630 and all your stats will squash accordingly with that, guys. So looking at my stats now, crit has gone to 24.17%. I don't have White Tiger on, so I'll just pop that on. So my crit, 29.17%. My mastery, 10%, let's just call it. My haste is 6.6%, and my bonus armor is 600, so reduction by 35.92%. As you'll recall, my warrior and DK, if you've watched those guides, that bonus armor is quite low compared to them. But again, I'm in mostly heroic, just normal heroic gear. So, and a few of the items were better itemized, I suppose you could say, on my my Prot Warrior and my Death Knight. Now onto my talents, guys. Brewmaster talents, I don't claim to be an expert on Brewmasters, but I'm just going to go through with you what I used for challenge modes. Now, quick edit, I had the wrong talents up from a different video. So these are the exact talents that I used in the challenge modes, guys. They're not the ones I use now, but these are the ones that I used when I did the challenge mode. So I'll go over them and I'll also tell you what I would change for now. So first tier, Tiger's Lust. It's amazing. Speed boost when you need to kite or whatever. Best one, Tiger's Lust all the way. Second tier, Chai Burst and Chai Wave. I now use Chai Wave over Chai Burst. When I did all my challenge modes, though, I used Chai Burst. The reason being is when I was reading up about it, what I found was Chai Burst did more AoE damage, and Chai Wave was better on a single target. The biggest thing in challenge modes is obviously Trash Pack, so I went with Chai Burst, but I do now use Chai Wave, but I ran Chai Wave. So either one, whichever one you're comfortable with, is going to be fine. The third line, I ran with Ascension for all of my challenge modes. It's what I was comfortable with. I know a lot of brewmasters that ran with Chai Brew for the elusive brew stacks. It's awesome. Elusive Brew is really powerful in challenge mode, so Chai Brew works really well with that. I now actually play with Power Strikes, and I love Power Strikes. So realistically, anything on this third line is viable. I ran with Ascension though, so that is what I'm showing you. From a learner perspective, I think Ascension was a really good choice, but that is what I ran with. Next line, level 60, leg sweep all the way. There's no other option on this one. Leg sweep all the way. Leg sweep's fucking awesome in challenge mode, so run leg sweep. 75, I ran with healing elixirs for the majority. On any of the high magic damage challenge modes, I ran with diffuse magic. There are a number of brewmasters I know that went with dampen harm, but myself, I swapped between diffuse magic for things like Arkandoon, even Shadowmoon Burial Grounds and things like that, and I ran with healing elixirs on the rest pretty much. Level 90, Rushing Jade Wind was my bread and butter. That is so good for even picking up AoE mobs and things like that. I think it's great. Zuen's obviously fantastic for single target damage, but for me, Rushing Jade Wind was all the rave. Level 100, Serenity is fucking amazing, especially for a learner brewmaster, which I was at the start, and I'm not claiming to be fucking amazing now, but Serenity is amazing in regards to banking up your shuffle at the start so you can focus on other things. Chai Explosion is amazing, and you can get some absolute fucking funky DPS from that, and I actually play with Chai Explosion and Power Strikes now, and I love it. But with Serenity and Breath of Fire, you can lock so many caster mobs and so many packs down so easily. I just think Serenity's the choice for challenge modes. Glyph wise, Breath of Fire, as you just saw, it is awesome coupled with Serenity. So I ran Breath of Fire, I ran Fortuous Spheres, and I run Glyph of Expel Harm, as it's just really handy if you are low, that 5 extra energy. It doesn't sound like much, but when you are that low and you need a heal, it's fantastic. So they're the 3 main glyphs I ran. If you were going to swap one out, some people do run Fortifying Brew, like I at the moment when I'm not doing challenge modes, run Fortifying Brew, Fortuous Spheres, and Expel Harm. But due to having Serenity, Glyph of Breath of Fire pretty much just couples with that, and it is amazing. So that is what I would run. If you didn't want to run Serenity and you wanted to take Chai Explosion, I would swap in Fortifying Brew from that. Another useful one is Zen Meditation. Means you can cast it when you're moving, and that is quite powerful. I probably didn't use Zen Meditation enough in my challenge modes anyway, but that's just kind of a nub factor. Minor glyphs really have no influence whatsoever for us on the Brewmaster, so I wouldn't worry about them whatsoever. But that is it, guys. They are the talents, the glyphs, and the gear that I used, the stats that I went with. I hope that's helpful. If you've got any questions that I can help you with, please hit me up, and thank you very, very much for watching, and good luck.